I will now administer an oath for anyone wishing to testify during this public hearing. Please stand and at the end, say I do. You and each of you do solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Thank you. Thank you. The topic of this public hearing is, the purpose is to hear public comments on the creation of a joint economic development district, or also known as a JED, with the village of Kirkersville, Union Township, and Union Township in Licking County, Ohio, designated Kirkersville Union Hebron Joint Economic Development District number 1. And we are allowing public comments and recommendations on the contract creating the JED in the district. In accordance with provision RC 715.72 C1. Oh, I know, struggling. All right. Comments? Questions? Yeah.
I do just want to mention that during the time that we've placed the ads and the notices, that I have not had any questions from residents or businesses in the village. I've only had one resident from Kirkersville actually come in and ask some questions, and I was able to provide him with some additional information. But that's been the extent of that.
Were there concerns, or they were just
He was
inquiring?
just trying to clarify what parcels were included because he has property in the village of Kirkersville. And so it seemed to be, once I answered those questions and so showed him the map, that he didn't have any concerns to share with me at that time.
Okay, great. Thank you. Council? Have you received any questions or have any concerns? Any additional comments? This may be our shortest meeting ever. Seeking a motion to adjourn this public hearing at 6:03 p.m. Second, I have a motion from Council President Wolf and a second from Council Member Stoner. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Porter?
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Mauer?
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Stoner?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Thank you. I now call to order a second public hearing on June 25th, 2025 at 6:03 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mr. Wolf?
Here.
Mrs. Stoner?
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter?
Here.
Mrs. Mauer?
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mrs. Porter?
Yes. Thank you. We have quorum. Now we'll do an oath again. And sorry.
I don't.
Thank you.
Stand all
Thank you. You and each of you do solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yep.
Thank you. And this is to review and discuss the following recommendation from Hebron Planning and Zoning. The request is the requesting party is concerning a location of 3480 National Road, Hebron, Ohio, parcel number 078-329550-00.001. A request was made for a zoning amendment in compliance with Hebron zoning ordinance 1111. The applicant is requesting the current zoning of the property in question be changed from the current classification of N1, which is manufacturing 1 district, to GC, which is general commercial district. The amendment would assign a village zoning district to the property of general commercial GC. The recommendation is to approve the rezoning request. Does anyone want to speak to it?
I do just want to emphasize the fact that our future land use map that was just recently adopted by council supports this change. Also, when we're really looking at the frontage of that property on 40, from a general commercial standpoint, that makes a lot of sense to change it from manufacturing to general commercial for retail, long term. And that the document, I did receive a few questions so that everybody is on the same page. That is on the south side of 40, nearing the community bank property and Lancer Car Wash. So where, you're more familiar with the house the Nadolsons had owned, that is included in this parcel. Thank you. Council, any questions? Okay.
Everyone's done this.
Okay. I am now seeking another motion to adjourn for 6:06 PM.
Like,
I have a motion from Council President Wolf, a second from Council Member Nauer. Roll call, please.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoner?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Mrs. Porter?
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Nauer?
yes.
Thank you, Council. I now call this Village of Hebron Council meeting to order at 6:06 PM on Wednesday, June 25th. Please stand as you are able and join me in reciting the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Wolf?
Here.
Mrs. Stoner?
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter?
Here.
Mr. Nauer?
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mrs. Porter?
Yes. Thank you. We have quorum. Thank you, visitors, for attending this evening. If you've not already done so, please sign in and give the agenda. There will be opportunities to speak at 2 points in the agenda labeled visitor comments. Yeah, so I need to modify my text here. So we do have minutes. We're using the recording of these videos as the documentation. And so they are available online for residents and interested parties to access. Minutes are official once they're approved by village council by a majority vote. Today's minutes will be made available once they are approved and posted on the YouTube channel that we've designated on our website. This will be less sloppy the next time I recite it. So I am seeking a motion of approval for the minutes for the council meeting on June 11, 2025.
So be it.
Second.
I have a motion from Council Member Nauer and a second from Council President Wolf. Any discussion?
Mrs. Stoner?
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Mr. Nauer?
Yes.
Mrs. Porter?
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman?
Yes. Thank you. It passes. The next item is, we have this time reserved on the agenda to hear comments from visitors regarding topics. I'm just having. Yep, totally missed it. Let me go back. Each department in the village provides routine updates to village council and the public. Tonight, we will receive an update from Jason Biggins.
Good evening, Captain.
Oh.
Did everybody receive a copy of my latest report dated June 16th?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll be brief tonight. I'll just highlight a few of the topics on here. Obviously the report's a little more in detail than what we'll discuss tonight, but. As far as, I'll begin with our trending demand for the year and our 5-year average. Believe it or not, we're still trending below what our 5-year average was as far as water demand and what the water treatment plant is producing. That probably is going to be a different number when we come into the September report because of the heat dome that we've been experiencing here in the last 6 or 8 days. The 2024 Consumer Conference Report was distributed. It was sent out electronically through utility bills and also hand delivered to the master meter services that have multiple tenants, residents, any apartment complexes, mobile home park, and anybody that doesn't receive a bill that would have got the link, we hand deliver those hard copies to them. I believe that the count was in the 550 range. Quick update that is not on this is one of the site improvement development projects that's ongoing right now. National Church Residence out here on Hebron Road has actually began the bore and jacking of their water service line across or underneath Hebron Road, State Road 79. They got about 40 feet today. Hopes that they're gonna be putting pipe in by Friday, so finish the board tomorrow. So that's moving along pretty well. I mean, I think everybody's driven by and seen that it's obviously it's standing. 2025 water line and roadway improvements projects that include Maple Avenue, Broadway, and Wooster Streets. An updated schedule on it. So yeah, I'm really excited to get this project off the ground. This is going to be a very big improvement to the area. Fire suppression pump. We're going to be replacing line that was put in the 1930s. Very small diameter pipe. And the upcoming tasks, this is a lead and copper sampling year. We do it every 3 years by US EPA regulation. This is where the residents or customers participate by drawing what's called a first draw sample after water has sat in their service lines for 6 hours. Takes coordination with our laboratory to gather the samples up and obviously participation from the residents themselves. We only have to turn 10 in, but we always distribute 20. In July, we are also going through another every 3-year process, and that is certifying the laboratory where we perform our daily lead chemistry, chlorine, fluoride, pH, all the alkalinities and hardness and such. That's coming up. One keynote on that is we're going to have 4th analyst, which will really kind of free up some time for the operators and for the assistant superintendent to be on an operational certification, where they'll be able to come in and do daily analysis. Just won't be able to do the calibration and the standardization monthly that's required. Annual fire hydrant flushing and maintenance program. I slated that for the end of July. Or I'm sorry, the end of August. However, that's going to be subject to progress from the roadway and water line improvements that's going to be taking place down on Wooster Street, Maple and Broad. Obviously, there's an order that we have to flush the hydrants, unidirectionally is what they call it. So we want to make sure that we get everything up and functioning and installed before we begin that process. Two notable items. We did have a depressurization a couple of weeks ago, May 22nd to be exact. Going around getting quotes with a contractor to do some fire hydrant work, repairs and replacement. And we found the images that you'll see at 102 Reliance Drive. This hydrant apparently was hit by some sort of vehicle at some point. And water was kind of cascading out of the box, flush valve box. So this was an emergency repair. And obviously it had to be done on Friday, going into a holiday weekend. The fortunate thing about this is only 3 customers were affected and they were industrial customers. One of which the building was vacant, not being used. The other two were, they were closed, because of the holiday weekend. So it actually kind of worked out. And just some before, after images of what the cause of the leak was. It was a gasket that had failed. So we replaced it, new bolts, new hydrant assembly, all up in good shape now. The other thing that I wanted to mention too was we have the privilege to host a guided tour to the Ohio EPA Division of Drinking and Groundwater staff. Well, I was contacted by the compliance assurance manager for the agency. And she asked if she could bring around the newer employees and interns for them to observe what a water treatment plant looks like with the sophistication of our processes. To give them a realistic idea of the challenges that we have to go through, you know, how their rules affect us and so on and so forth. There were, I believe, 15 total folks, and they weren't all from the central district area. They were from other districts throughout the state. Anybody from the compliance side to CC, consumer comments reports to enforcement. There was a young lady from enforcement, source water. There was a gentleman from them. But yeah, it was a nice 1 or 2 hour tour where they actually were able to physically see the processes take place. So I have a feeling it might turn into a more frequent event. And I obviously invited them to come anytime, you know, new groups of people or whatnot to tour our facility. The last thing I want to mention to you is my awareness topic, and that is the announcement by Microsoft that in October, they are sunsetting Windows 10. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of that or familiar with what that means, but basically what Microsoft is announcing is they're not going to continue to update security policies and patch files and things of that sort for the Windows 10 platform. They want everybody to go to Windows 11. Well, why that's important in this report is our SCADA system is platformed through Windows 10. And unfortunately, the age of the processor, and I'm talking in very odd terms that I'm not even sure I really understand, but the processor is not capable of handling Windows 11. So just as a, you know, as a reminder to everybody, in general, that, you know, with all the security threats and the cyber, you know, crime that goes on, your Windows 10 machine will not be, they won't be able to support, you know, any of those cyber attacks and things of that sort, so. Anybody have any questions?
How much that gonna cost?
Pardon me?
How much is that gonna cost? That's the update.
Working on that. I don't have a firm number yet, but it's gonna be a few $100s. It's gonna have to be a whole new PC tower and everything. And then it's labor hours to integrate software and tag files and network addressing and
Good luck.
cost of doing business, unfortunately. Technology. Sorry if I was talking too fast.
Do we have an additional, antivirus software on that?
So the answer is no. Here's why. Because antivirus software doesn't play very well with how our PLCs are networked. That's what I've been told. And I can speak to you after the meeting about other reasons.
Any other questions? Thank you so much. Now we have visitor comments. We have this time reserved on the agenda to hear comments from visitors regarding topics not listed on the agenda. Please be sure to state your name and address for the record. There's a 5-minute time limit per speaker. We're eager to hear what you have to say, so please speak loudly and clearly into the microphone. Any speakers? The next item is legislation. Resolution 2513, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the village of Hebron to execute an agreement with MI Homes of Central Ohio LLC to enter into a development agreement for Hebron Landing. This is the third reading. Seeking a motion to adopt resolution 2513.
So moved.
I'll second. I have a motion from Council President Wolf and a second from Council Member Stoner. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Stoner,
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter,
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman,
No.
Mrs. Porter,
Yes.
Mr. Nauer,
Yes.
Mr. Wolf.
Yes.
Thank you, council. The motion passes. The next item is resolution 2514, a resolution accepting the bid of Wind Waste Innovations of Heath Incorporated for the village refuse hauling, awarding the contract and authorizing the mayor or her agents to enter into an agreement with Wind Waste Innovations of Heath Incorporated for refuse hauling services. This is the second reading.
Yep.
The next item is ordinance 725, an ordinance to adopt a source water management plan and to submit the same to the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA. This is the second reading. The next item is resolution 2516. It's a resolution authorizing the mayor of the village of Hebron, Ohio to execute an agreement with local governmental organizations and public utility providers for the Kirkersville, Union Township, and Village of Hebron Joint Economic Development District number 1. This is the first reading. What? Did you need to speak to them?
There's questions.
Does anyone have questions? The next item is ordinance 80825. It's an ordinance to amend the Hebron Codified Code known as Chapter 139 titled Police Department. This is the first reading. Do we need to expedite it? Yes. And do you want to speak to it? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. The title doesn't really say what it is. This is for the village to be able to retire the chief's service weapon. So that when he retires, he may take that weapon with him. So that is why I'd like to request that the readings be waived in the constant.
Thank you. Any questions?
What have we done in the past? We have before,
Yes, when Chief Dean retired his weapon as well.
I make a motion to declare an emergency. That would just seem incorrect.
So you make a motion to suspend the readings?
Suspend the readings. Declare emergency.
One second.
I have a motion to suspend the readings and declare an emergency from Council Member Carpenter and a second from Council President Wolf. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Chapman,
Yes.
Mrs. Porter,
Yes.
Mr. Nauer,
yes,
Mr. Carpenter,
Yes.
Mrs. Stoner,
Yes.
Mr. Wolf.
Yes.
Thank you. It passes. Now I seek a motion to adopt ordinance 0825. So moved. I have a motion from Council Member Chapman and a second from Council Member Porter. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Nauer,
yes,
Mrs. Stoner,
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter,
Yes.
Mrs. Porter,
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman,
Yes.
Mr. Wolf.
Yes.
Thank you. It passes. The next item is council action items. The first item is the contract extension regarding the refuse hauling of it's an extension of the existing contract. Do you want to speak to that?
I would like to ask council to adopt this as the emergency because the current contract expires June 30th of actually this month. And then the new contract will not be ratified by council until July. So we need to have 1 month extension to allow the current contract to carry over until the end of July.
It's just a continuation. It is, no, specifics of change. It's
Just a continuation of an existing contract.
Okay, so it goes into what? 37th month or something like that.
Yes,
I so move. That be done, say.
I have a motion from Council Member Porter and a second from Council Member Carpenter. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Nauer,
Yes.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
Mrs. Stoner,
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman,
Yes.
Mrs. Porter,
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter.
Yes.
thank you.
The next item is, we are seeking to create a special fund or acceptance of funds. Can you speak to that?
Yes, thank you. The special fund that we're seeking to create is a fund like we did for Microsoft, but for MI. MI will, part of their development agreement will be to fund some of the construction and different things, and they want to give us that money, and then we will then pay from there. In order to do that, we have to create a special fund, just like we did with Microsoft. So that's what this would be. So I would ask that we make a motion to create that special fund, and then it'll be legislation at the next meeting.
What would be an approximate amount? Do you have any? Any idea?
I don't really have an approximate amount, but the good thing about setting the fund up is it'll, there isn't a limit to what the amount would be. So if over time, if costs of things are higher and they have to submit more funds, then it'll accept it.
If I may answer the question, there are 3 separate categories they are putting money into. One is we're not gonna do the improvement, if they give the village money for the future improvement on US 40. That amount of roughly about 300, maybe $400,000.
I think it's about 450,000.
Yeah. And the second category is the culvert over the Christopher Drive. They are contributing 100,000 to that. And the third one is the inspection services, which estimates to be 174,000. So you're adding all those 3 together, close to $3.25 million.
I will say with the inspections, those are gonna be invoiced similar to engineering services, so it might be a little different from that perspective, but.
Still seeking a motion,
I'll
right?
make the motion
Okay.
to create a special fund.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilmember Carpenter and a second from Council President Wolf. Any discussion? Yes,
Mayor, that's directing us to draft legislation accordingly.
is it? Yes. Yes.
And for purposes of identification, has that fund been paid or?
We have to work through the job for the fact to each of the specific and the number of the funds, so we'll have it for the ordinance.
Thank you.
Okay, so letting the record reflect that this is to draft legislation to create a special fund yet to be named, but will be provided to the solicitor. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Porter,
Yes.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Stoner?
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Mr. Nauer?
Yes,
Thank you, it passes. Next item is regarding an appropriation amendment.
This goes hand in hand with the special fund, in order to create the special fund and accept the amount of money to make any expenditures out of that. We have to do an appropriation amendment. So that is what we're looking for that. And then also, I just wanted to mention, once you pass the legislation to create the special fund, then I will seek permission from the auditor to have that. So timing wise, we will request that the readings be waived at the next meeting because I'm not sure how long it'll take. And I don't want to hold it up any longer. So that would what be the appropriation that it would be for. And also, we are experiencing some higher legal fees with some of the things that we're dealing with. So I will have to add some funds to appropriate to cover that for the fall, for the rest of the year. So I figured since we're doing an appropriation amendment, I would just add that along with that. So you'll see that on there as well.
And is this also to draft legislation?
Yes. Yes,
Okay. So I'm seeking a motion to draft legislation for this appropriation amendment. Yes, thank you.
So moved.
I'll second. I have a motion from Council President Wolf and a second from Council Member Stoner. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Mr. Nauer?
yes,
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoner?
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman?
yes,
Mrs. Porter?
Yes.
Thank you. It passes. The next item, I am seeking a motion to draft legislation to approve the request made to rezone the parcel that was indicated in the previous public hearing, specifically parcel number 078-329-550-00.001.
So moved.
Second. I have a motion from Council President Wolf and a second from Council Member Stoner. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Nauer?
yes,
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoner?
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Mrs. Porter?
Yes. Thank you, council. The motion passes. I'm now seeking a motion to go into executive session pursuant to ORC 121.22G. 1, to consider appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee.
So moved.
second,
I have a motion from Council President Wolf and a second from Council Member Stoner to go into executive session at 6:33. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Porter?
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman?
yes.
Mr. Nauer?
yes.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoner?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Thank you.
mean, they've got.
Taking a motion to come back out of executive session at 6:48 PM.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from council member Stoner and a second from council member Porter. Roll call please.
Mr. Wolf,
Yeah.
Mr. Carpenter.
Yes.
Stoner,
Yes.
Ms. Noah,
Yes.
Ms. Porter.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, it passes. The next item is the administrator's report.
I just have two items, quick updates on the two items. One is the Superintendent Ficken mentioned about the water line replacement. Maple and Broadway and Wooster, even though he provided you with the schedule of this report. Well, right now, we're still waiting for the schedule from contractor. Once we get that schedule, we will work with the Director Meissner's sending out the notices to the residents. Because we'll be dealing with the water line replacement and then the road, the pavement issue. So there will be some inconvenience to the residents in that neighborhood. Secondly, is that ODOT is replacing all the speed limit signs along Route 40. You may have seen that. They should be done in the next day or two.
I'm sorry, what is it they're replacing?
Speed limit sign and all the state related signage, they're replacing those. They are starting from the west coming to eastbound, so should be done by next day or two. That's all I have.
Any of those changed? The
No.
speed limit amounts?
No, no, just
Never know.
just looking newer, that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is an opportunity for each council member to report of any old or new issues with the body. Council President Wolf.
I can't think of anything.
Okay, thank you. Council member Stoner.
The only thing I have, I went to the business after hours, last night, and it was nice. I went around to, it was Lulu's, State Farm, Earthy Doodads, Clay's, and the art gallery. So if they ever do that again, I recommend it. The music was great, but they had a good turnout, I think, because even with the heat, it was nice.
Thank you for going. Councilmember Carpenter.
Nothing.
Thank you. Councilmember Nauer. Councilmember Chapman. The only thing I had is, I missed the meeting last week, so I went on to YouTube to view it. And, I'm not sold on it yet. I couldn't hear anything that Nell said. She was totally inaudible. So I don't know if it's something we need to work on. And it also took me well over an hour to sit and watch. And if someone is looking for information, I'm thinking you could pull the minutes up, read those in 5-10 minutes or less. If there's something specific you're looking for, I think the residents are gonna not wanna spend an hour to weed through something, and they're wanting something short. It's just my one experience with it was not good. And so did you look at the agenda to see what the topics were to know? Because I'm guessing residents would look at an agenda to know what is going to be discussed. Yeah, I did not, because like I said, I was gonna watch it all anyways, but if they were looking for a certain thing, you know, they'd still have to wait through the whole thing to get to their agenda. I mean, whether the agenda was the front or the back. It just seemed a little more inconvenient. Like I said, I'm not sold one way or the other, but that was my first experience with it, was not great. That's all I have. Okay.
I have nothing.
And I think it's because Annelle's microphone isn't on. That's probably part of the issue.
My
Council member Porter.
The speakers don't use their microphone.
When the speakers don't use their microphone up here? Oh, okay.
It will not bite you.
Right. Contrary to popular belief, right? Okay, mayor's report is short. I was gone for most of the days since then. And then any other visitor comments? Unless otherwise noted, it's understood council members have reviewed the expense report provided and have no questions. Please be sure to look at the meeting events schedule. And I am now seeking a motion to adjourn.
So move. Mike is on.
Good job. Second. I have a motion from Council Member Porter and a second from Council Member Stoner. Roll call, please.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
Mrs. Stoner.
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter,
Yes.
Mr. Nauer,
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman.
Yes.
Mr. Porter.
Yes. Council is now adjourned at 6:54. Thank you.
Could I get everybody to take a photo?
Uh,
Pretty.